Eric da Silva is a red. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news as Forest make it official on Eric. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV, and don't forget we're doing a watch along tonight for the England match, both here and on playback. And if you want to join us on stage, make sure you've signed up on playback. It's completely free, and we're going to have a really fun watch along. You won't want to miss it. But let's jump into the news, as Eric da Silva has been officially confirmed by Nottingham Forest. And this is a guy that we spoke to Antonio about the other day. And honestly, he really hyped him up in my mind, and I was really excited about the prospect of him joining. I'll leave that whole interview for you guys on the end screen, so if you haven't seen it already, it will give you a real flavour and idea of what to expect with Eric, because honestly, the potential this kid has got, I am getting excited about. Now, don't you lot go starting by saying, oh, well, you were excited about Sangare and what have you. Yeah, okay, cool, right? Give me a break, man. This guy, though, is young, talented, versatile, has plenty of different attributes that are going to be real strengths to Nottingham Forest, and is still only 17, just turned 18 in May, I believe. So let's give you the details of it all. So we believe it's for a fee of about €1.5 million, which in this day and age is absolute chump change. And yes, it's happened before the 30th of June, so this is going to go down in this year's PSR. And that brings the whole PSR question into it, but don't worry, we've got more videos coming about that to explain the Forest situation. But let me just read you out the official club statement, so you guys, if you haven't seen it. So Forest are delighted to announce the signing of Eric da Silva Moreira. I can't say that last bit of his name. The 18-year-old has joined the club on a 4-year deal which runs until the summer of 2028. An exciting young talent who is quick, direct, and capable of playing at wing-back or as a winger. He's also played as a striker, by the way. Go check out what Antonio said. He's progressed throughout the St. Pauli youth system, where he has spent the last 9 years. The youngster was standout performance in Germany's under-17s, winning both the UEFA European Championship and the World Cup in 2023, registering 2 goals and 3 assists across the competitions. By the way, a footnote on that, he was the standout player for the German team by like a country mile. Yes, I know it was only youth football, but you start somewhere. If you're standing out from that age, it's always a good sign. Eric has made his professional debut for St. Pauli's in March during a 23-24 campaign, which saw the German club win promotion to the Bundesliga for the first time in 13 years. And he says he's really happy to be here. I've heard a lot about the Premier League and a lot about many clubs, so I'm very happy to be at Nottingham Forest, especially at a club that has a lot of tradition, just like my old club. Now, usually that is a bit of a PR line that you expect the marketing department to feed any new signing that comes into Nottingham Forest. They'll always tell them, talk about the history, talk about, you know, the fans and everything like that. And, you know, do you believe it or not is usually the question. But with Eric, it's actually true, because he's had many opportunities to leave St. Pauli's before. He was linked to some of the big boys, Dortmund, etc., in the Bundesliga. But because he's a St. Pauli's fan and he was embedded in that tradition and the love of the club, he wanted to stay there. And also because he's a smart kid, he understood that his development there would actually be more beneficial to him than getting lost in the system. Even though Dortmund have one of the greatest academies, I think, in development of youth squad, he still decided that the best option for him was to stay. So you can tell that tradition and things like that, those morals, those ethoses that we hold dear to us as Forest fans, he is going to buy into that, and he's going to buy into it really quick. He then goes on to say, me and my family are really happy about the new challenge, and I can't wait to get started and to get to know the city, the people, and everything about the club. So already what we can tell you about him is he's very mature for his age. And again, that's something Antonio said in the interview we did with him. So he's not trying to rush his career progress. What you sometimes see is these quote unquote wonder kids basically being rushed, trying to jump the gun. Back in the old days, you'd start by cleaning the boots, working your way up the ranks, etc. Now it's all about agents, can I jump the queue, and so on. Where I feel that Eric da Silva has got a really, really mature head on his shoulders, and that he's just taking his time and making sure he develops at the appropriate pace, which in turn, in the long term, will make sure he develops into a better player, in my opinion. Now, we've had a word from Ross Wilson. Remember him, Chief Football Officer for Forest. He says, we have a number of exciting young players in our squad already, and we are pleased that Eric is another young player with high potential who we are excited to add to our ranks. We have tracked his progress at both clubs and international level, and we are looking forward to his continued progress here at Nottingham Forest. So, more indications that this is the direction that Forest are going in with this transfer window, with the whole setup of the club in general. Recruit young, try and drive the potential through, and then look to sell to make a profit. Or maybe if we get so many coming through, we can keep a few of them and start to actually build the foundations of the nucleus of the team that we will see going forward. But this one for me is exciting. Now, it's still hard to judge whether or not he's quite ready to break into the first team. He would need to impress a bit like Murillo did in those early training sessions when he first arrived from Corinthians, where basically Murillo forced himself into the first team based on performances. And we know Forest as a club are willing and wanting to put youth teams either into the squad or into the first team. But where is he going to play is the real question, because he has such huge diversity. He spent most of his early career, and I use the phrase early career with his age very, very loosely, playing as a right winger, a left winger, and a striker as well. And then over the last 18 months to a year or so, he's then dropped back into the right back position. And his attribute really is that he has lightning pace, both acceleration and over a distance as well. He's good in a tackle, he's strong in a tackle, but can sometimes lack the experience to know when to just get rid of a ball, where he quite likes to try and maybe dribble himself out of trouble. He tends to be quite good at that. But again, retrospectively, in that age group where he is the standout player, you'd expect him to be able to skill up the other 17-year-olds, etc. Now, that won't transfer into the Premier League. He's going to need to learn to use the other players around him, be aware of the space, his positioning, etc. But that will come with time and experience. So I see him as being a right back, maybe a right wing back if Nuno wants to switch into his Wolves formation going into the 3-4-3. But either way, the versatility of this player is going to be interesting to see. And what I would expect is when and if he does break into the first team, we may see a few extra goals added in his column from a defensive position because of his history of playing higher up the pitch. He won't be scared to shoot. He won't be scared to, attack the box. He will have license to get forward. And I think I could probably see him getting a good handful of games this season. And I'm not going to lie to you, I kind of want him to, because I want to see with my own eyes what the hype is all about him. So, how are you feeling about this signing? Is it, I know it's not a freaking Neymar or an Mbappe coming in or what have you, but it's definitely smart recruitment by Nottingham Forest. And at the price we got him at, it's peanuts. It really is. I'm interested to hear your thoughts down below. So as I mentioned earlier, don't forget England tonight on playback. Just to give you guys a bit of details about it, we will be watching the game. All the FFTV boys will be watching together on one screen. And then we're going to bring you guys up. So if anyone wants to come and actually physically watch the game with us, just make sure you're on the playback chat. We'll be on YouTube as well, so you can just watch as we would normally. But if you want to chill with the boys and watch with us, then let us know in playback. We'll kick it off about 7:45 tonight. Hopefully all things go well on it. Okay, so that's your latest news there. We've got more content coming out for you in a little bit once we've spoken to the Daily Mail and discussed the whole PSR stuff. That will be on its way to you shortly as well. Plenty of content coming your way. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And Eric is a Red. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.